so Jamie and Camcore, it's a 4-hour trip and somehow ended up being 12 hours.
Yeah.
You were like, let's just go to a random hotel, like a conference center, and sneak in and see what happens.
Gaslighting the front desk people, basically like waving at them like, oh, so good to see you again. I'm walking in with my suitcase.
We took up the whole stall in this bathroom, like opened up Camryn's suitcase. She started getting dressed and getting ready. She's literally about to be on live TV, you guys. So I'm running around this convention center looking for like any private room. So we go into this auditorium and I literally joked to Camryn, I'm like, this literally looks like an auditorium from like The Office. This literally like brought me back to, I wasn't even alive at the time, but like 1995. So Camryn like sets up her ring light, like she's all ready to go. And I go outside. I see this guy walking over with his keys. And I'm like, oh my God, not this room, not this room. Comes over and is about to unlock the door that Camryn's in. And like literally that door is facing, like it will like, the door will come open on live TV and he'll be like, hi, Sincerely Sisters, and welcome back to Sincerely American. We're so excited to have you guys back, and I think the first thing we definitely need to talk about was our launch party that we had just this Friday. It was amazing.
We loved meeting you girls. We loved talking to you, getting to know you more, and it was just so special. I love our girls. Like, the outfits there, the conversation was flowing. It was just such an amazing time.
We had a close friend that lived in DC who let us use his house, and it is just the most spectacular house in the entire world. He was so kind to host us, and we just had women from across the country that came to support us and show up, and we were just so thankful, and it was like so great to meet you girls and get to know your backstory, why you've been following the Conservateur, and then why you've now been following Sincerely American, or if you just came over to Sincerely American. And there was just so many young women, and you guys brought like your boyfriends and your husband. It was so great to meet those people as well. And I love that so many girls at the party had like not even known each other before, and then they got together at the party, and then like they created like friendships from that party. And I just think that's such a beautiful thing. And I'm just so excited. Like I want to do more events like that because it was just amazing.
Special shout out to our sponsors, our security team that help us. Tax Network USA played a tremendous role in this as well.
Ironwood Protection Group, Tom, he was there because obviously when you're more conservative leaning, like it's very scary in this day and age. I wanted to make sure that all of our girls that came to this event were well protected. And Tom at Ironwood did such a fantastic job. If you guys are doing any events in the DC area, please use him. He is fantastic. Feel free to DM us and reach out and we can put you guys in contact with him. I just felt so great with him. He showed up like 4 hours before. Mm-hmm. And also huge thank you to our husbands who like, you go first with Pat.
Oh yeah, Pat did not sign up for manual labor, and I will say him and Drake carrying up all of the alcohol, all of like the things that we needed for the party, like talking to the caterers of where to put things. We're very, very grateful for them.
I called Drake and I'm like, you need to get over to the house right now. And it was like 3 hours before the event and he was like running over, and I got there and he's like sweating bullets carrying up like 50 things of champagne into the room. Like they're so great to us.
No, they are. Thankful. We were running errands and we were in the car, and yeah, Pat was like, like questioning for a second, like, why am I here? But I needed his big arms to like carry all the stuff up. So no, it was fun. It was a good time. And I'm glad that they had like the behind the scenes of it because it really came to life. And there's a lot more that goes into it than people realize. So
get a man that when you throw your little fun party with your girls will carry all of your champagne bottles in. That morning you were running around all around town you were like buying at Virginia ABC?
Yeah, we were at Virginia ABC. We were buying speakers for the DJ booth.
Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah, which is such a fun side quest. I mean, I guess when you're in politics, it does age you. You need things that are fun, like little outlets to do. So he wanted to do that for free, and that's something that he does on the side and he loves doing. So we let him do his thing.
You know what was one of the highlights also? My favorite priest, Father Frank Pavone, he literally flew in from Florida. He runs Priest for Life. He's like a very big pro-life advocate. And he showed up, like my favorite priest. He like walked in and I was like, hi, Father Frank Pavone. And he was there the entire night. I was just laughing that like, it just was like probably not his usual scene. And I just loved, like we had so many people come in, like I said, out of town as well.
Well, we also had, what was so funny is we had Kevin Cork from Fox News there. He was actually doing a panel with 2 of the guests at the event. So they had to leave our party in order to go back to the bureau to do the hit. But it was Kevin Cork. We had David Brody there, who is with Real America's Voice. We had Julian Epstein on the panel as well. It was so special though that they were all able to come, but then then went back and, did what we do and
Oh my God,
go
I
on TV.
love Kevin. He is the sweetest. Like, we do so many panels of him at Fox, and he's just honestly a doll. He also made my night. So we're just so thankful. And if you girls didn't get to go to this event, because I know, there's a lot of stuff going on and everything, I think we're definitely going to host more, and we would love to have you girls in the future. Anyway, okay, so to start out this episode, we want to thank you guys for the event and everything. And then we also wanted to do like a fun story time because Camryn and I, since this podcast has launched, we've been just on like so many side quests doing all of these press hits and stuff. I literally feel like since we've launched this podcast, it's just been a fire hose of just events, press opportunities. Like, we're so thankful, but like we've just been going crazy, like not sleeping. Literally, if you hear my voice too, I'm so sorry. I'm sick because of just like I have not slept in a week because we've just been nonstop doing things. And so anyway, I wanted to tell them the story of us going to New York City.
Oh my God.
And I think we have to start. So we drove up from DC to New York City. This was literally, what was it? Wednesday morning? Yeah, it was Wednesday.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because then we went on Fox on Thursday morning. So we had a hit on Fox and Friends first, which we love. Todd Piro, he is the best. He had us on his show at like a crisp 5:30 a.m. in the morning, and we'll get into that. Mm-hmm. So the day before, we drove up.
And mind you, we're coming from DC to New York, so that should be a 4-hour car ride if your tank is filled with gas. It should not take you very long. Maybe stop once if you need to use the restroom or get a snack. Jamie and I, we left at 10 a.m. We got there, at like 9:30 p.m.?
Yeah, I don't even know how that... That is so Jamie and Camcore. It's a 4-hour trip and somehow ended up being 12 hours. Yeah. Like, I really can't even explain. Well, actually, we can't explain why. Yeah. But also, so my husband, he filled up our tires the day before because one of our tires was having an issue where he's driving his car. And for some reason, mid-road trip, the tire began having another issue again. And instead of being, like, responsible adults, we were like, whatever, we're just going to drive on a flat tire, which, like...
Yeah, because the pressure goes up, like, the hotter that the car gets. So then in my mind, I was like, the problem will fix itself. We don't have to worry about it.
We had that and, like, Vivi's toys in the back. We were, like, trailering up. And so while we were on this trip, we left very early in the morning. And like I said, it was supposed to be only 4 hours. So we thought, like...
We would get there by 1:30.
Yeah, we thought we'd be totally good on time. And Camryn had a news hit on Real America's Voice. And if for those of you guys that don't know, when you do a news hit, it's like so bad to reschedule the day of because like bookers are working so hard. Like it should literally only be an emergency to reschedule. So anyway, we're driving and Camryn goes, we're in the middle of New Jersey at this point. And Camryn looks at me and goes, we are not going to make it before my 3:30 news hit on Real America's Voice. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So like...
Oh, and I had no makeup on and we left in pajamas. We literally ordered toast steak at Jamie's house, a latte, avocado toast, got in the car, packed everything up and went as is. We were not dressed. We had no makeup on.
And we also like hit CVS to get like teeth whiteners and spent like 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Because their POS system was down.
We were running into
I was so overstimulated. They kept saying like it's 100 or what did they say $150 and I was like $150 for a teeth whitener and a charger. Come again? And then she kept saying $150. Then I realized she was saying like $105.50. I was like, what are you saying?
So we're in the middle of New Jersey. Camryn has this news hit. And you were like, let's just go to a random hotel, like a conference center, and sneak in and see what happens.
I was gaslighting the front desk people, basically like waving at them like, oh, so good to see you again. I'm walking in with my suitcase, like with all my clothes, all my makeup, trying to get ready before this news hit.
So we find like a random Holiday Inn convention center, and I don't even know where in New Jersey. We pull over. We go through. We were pretending that we were staying there. So we're like, thank you to the front desk. So great to see you again. And they were like waving to us. We walk through to the convention center and Camryn has to get ready. She has like not a stitch of makeup on. She's about to go on TV. So we go into like the random public bathroom in this convention center, take up a stall. Here, we'll play the video. I literally recorded this. We took up the whole stall in this bathroom, like opened up Camryn's suitcase. She started getting dressed and getting ready. And meanwhile, we're taking like work calls during this as well. And next door to this public bathroom was like another convention happening. I think it was like the Comptrollers of New Jersey or something. It was like a really random convention. And people were like filtering through the bathroom. And Camryn's like getting all ready in this bathroom. And I'm like, okay, we need to find like a private place for her to do a news hit. She's literally about to be on live TV, you guys. So I'm running around this convention center looking for like any private room. I find like this random janitor closet and I bring Camryn to it. And she's like, Jamie, there is no way I'm doing this hit in this janitor closet.
There was kitchen utensils on the floor. There's like rags in the corner. And she was like, you can just squat and put your computer there with your ring light. And I'm like, how am I going to blur out this entire mess in the background of this closet that's not even, there was no light in there, nothing to go off. So I was like, Jamie, we have to find somewhere else to do this.
So I go down the hallway and I find like one open auditorium that was like somehow open, like, because every other door was locked in this convention center. And so we're like, thank God. So we go into this auditorium and I literally joked to Camryn, I'm like, this literally looks like an auditorium from like The Office, you know, like Dunder Mifflin, like Scranton, PA, like having like literally a marketing event for like the shareholder revenue at their paper meeting. Like
they had a podium, they had notepads out.
Yeah.
It looked like a lecture hall that you were going to in college.
This literally like brought me back to, I wasn't even alive at the time, but like 1995. I feel like this is what like life looked like back then. And I'm like, okay, Camryn, set up your news hit in this random auditorium. I'm going to go out and patrol like the outside area to make sure no one walks in while she's on literal live TV. So Camryn like sets up her ring light, like she's all ready to go. And I go outside and I'm sitting there and I'm just waiting. And it like, usually when you're doing live TV, you have to wait. Like the timing is sometimes like all over the place. So I'm waiting out there for like 15 minutes. I don't hear her talking. And then I hear her start talking like she's doing her news hit. And I'm like, okay, good. This will take like about 5 minutes. Usually every hit's about 5 minutes. So I see this guy walking over with his keys. And I'm like, oh my God, not this room, not this room. I'm just watching him do it. He then comes over and is about to unlock the door that Camryn's in. And like literally that door is facing, like it will like, the door will come open on live TV and he'll be like, what are you doing in this room? Like you don't even belong here. This is supposed to be like a locked room. And so as he's about to unlock the door, this is the first thing that comes to mind. I run over and I go, sir, you can't open that. And he looks at me and he's like, I'm sorry, like, who are you? Like his vibe. And I'm go, my best friend had an accident. And he looks at me and I'm like, she's changing in there. And there's like a girl that's right behind. I think they're doing like a tour of the facility. And I look and I go like this with the note card to the girl. I'm like, she got her period and she has to change. And the guy like hears me and he's so disgusted, his face. Like he's like, this is literally the only thing I could think of to stop this man from entering this room.
Mind you, I hear this on live television. I hear this going, the door is right there. So I'm sitting on live television like, yeah, and da-da-da-da-da with the IRS. Like, what's going on out there?
This guy is, like, so disgusted. He looks at me. He's like, and you can tell he's like, I want nothing to do with this. He's like, we'll go tour the room next door. I'm like, thank you so much. It'll be 5 minutes. Of course, Camryn's hit continues to go on for, like, another 7 minutes. I'm standing there so anxious because I see them going room to room and they're trying to get back into that room. I'm, like, standing there, like... And they come back over right as they were coming back. And I had to be like, I don't even know what my excuse at this point. Camryn comes out of the room. I was about to laugh so hard. I literally ran. And the look that they gave Camryn, like they were just like looking at you like.
They were so disgusted.
They were repulsed. They were
so disgusted with me.
Camryn comes out with her full suitcase and everything. And we just flee. We flee the scene.
Well, and mind you, there's like 3 other doors in there too. And we locked every door. Jamie, of course, wrote Cam and Jamie were here on a notepad somewhere that is still there. I'm like, oh, we left the notepad in there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we fled. We got to New York.
We fled, and then we went up to New York, and then we did not sleep that night because then we did Fox at like 5:30 a.m. And then we continued not to sleep and just like did TikToks and like went all over the city. And then we drove back, and then we had our party. So that was our last like literal like 3 days. So speaking of New York City, okay, so it's about to be Halloween, as you guys are well aware. So we wanted to get into like a little bit of a Halloween topic here for you all. And this guy is in New York City, and let's play this TikTok. So for our listening audience, he said, can I be in New York City for more than 5 minutes without being asked what my Halloween plans are? And then let's play this other TikTok here as well on a similar vibe. And it says, what are you doing for Halloween? I'm staying in, fully dressed, handing out candy because Halloween is for SLUTS, and I'm better than that.
I do think adults will put an overemphasis on Halloween sometimes. I think it's fun to celebrate, of course. Like, I love celebrations with your friends. I know you have Vivi, so you probably love taking her to trick or treat, getting her outfit. But I kind of agree. Like, once you reach a certain age, it shouldn't become a part of your identity anymore.
Yeah, I think this is kind of part of like the Peter Pan syndrome in our society now because like so many people are not having kids in their 20s that the pressure, I guess, to get dressed up for Halloween still as like a 27-year-old is kind of crazy to me because like, I don't know, in my world, like I don't even have time to like think of my Halloween costume or my husband's Halloween costume. Like we're so focused on Vivian, our daughter, and please can we put up a picture of her? She looks so precious this Halloween. Oh my gosh, we did like an early little trick-or-treating thing the other day and it was so cute. Our little Dorothy, she's so precious. But anyway, I do feel like Halloween is for children. So for me, this is like crazy about how people like nowadays, because no one's having kids, like put just so much pressure into their Halloween costumes. And I have seen like a lot of debate on TikTok about like women's costumes for Halloween because we all know that infamous Mean Girls quote where she's like, Halloween is the one time of year that you can dress up and be an SLUTS without being judged for it. And so what do you think about that?
I mean, I think it just depends on how you're approaching this. Like, what intention are you going with? Are you going with the intention of like showing off your body and dressing like that? Or are you going with the intention of like having fun with your friends? Because I also see on my TikTok, maybe I'm on a completely different side of social media, but I'll see like girls dressing up as the Lorax guy with like the orange suit with like the beard and then like founding fathers and stuff. So I think it can be fun with your friends. It just depends on what you're doing with your intentions and everything. But again, I feel like it's more of like a children's holiday, like you were saying.
Yeah, and like I think Halloween is so fun when you're in college to dress up. Like I had some great costumes back in college, but truthfully, I think since I've had Vivian, like I said, I just haven't like had the time because like I do want to make Halloween about her. I do think it's like for kids first. And another really weird trend that's like on a similar vein to Halloween is okay, so long story short, in my town, we dressed up Vivian yesterday. It was a Saturday. They had this big trick-or-treat event, and we went around all over the place, and we're trick-or-treating, and there was a bunch of kids out, as like a lot of people do in every town in America, and it was so much fun, and it was adorable to see young families. Vivian was having so much fun. She was running around with all of the kids, and all the costumes were adorable as we saw Vivian's, and I was like, oh, this is really amazing. And then today, I've been driving all around DC, and I guess there was events for like dressing up your dog and bringing your dog around. And this was very strange to me. There was like a bunch of millennials who were like dressed up in full Halloween. I'm talking like face paint going full thing with their dogs dressed up as well. And they were bringing them around to different stores in DC and like right outside of our studio, actually, they had another dog event where like people were dressed up with their dogs as well. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't mean to be mean. I am a dog person. I love our family dog, Tito. I've always been a dog lover my entire life, but I do feel like this is a weird trend that's developing.
Well, I think that adults have replaced children with dogs, and I live in LA. I've seen this firsthand with people walking their strollers, and I'm like looking to see if there's a cute baby in there, and it's a dog. And they just put an overemphasis on animals, and I'm an animal lover as well. But again, I do think that this should be mostly about kids. And I mean, what were you even saying with this festival? It's like mostly millennials out there. What were you saying?
Yeah, it was mostly millennial people, and you know they don't have kids because, I'm sorry, anyone that has a child does not have time to just bring out their dog and like go trick-or-treating for biscuits. Like that's just so, and by the way, even if you don't have kids, you don't have anything better to do than dress up your dog and bring, it's literally people that are longing to have children in a way, but they don't want the full commitment of having a kid, so they replace them with dogs. Like I think that's a very obvious thing that's happening on like multiple levels, and this is now showing. But I'm like, you're spending money on your dog outfit. And by the way, I think I saw a few families the other day where they had like their kids dress up and the dog like played into it and they brought their dog along and were dressing up like with the family and stuff. I think that's cute. But to specifically spend your Sunday afternoon like walking around with your dog in a Halloween costume, I do think is kind of weird. It's giving a bit Disney adult, like same type of vibe to me.
I agree.
Okay, so now going on to a completely different topic. We're going to the I have no words segment. We're totally changing gears here, but we need to talk about this Louvre heist. This was insane, you guys. I was dying. Let's roll the clip.
Am I a bad person for thinking the Louvre heist was kind of one of the most inspiring things to happen within my lifetime. Like in this day and age of AI and the robots are here, it's just kind of wonderful to see a good old-fashioned heist, I tell ya.
Okay, so for those of you guys that don't know, these men dressed up as construction workers and broke into the Louvre, which is obviously like the most famous museum in the entire world in Paris, France. And in the middle of the day, they went over to the crown jewels and opened up with like a blowtorch, I think, or something, and stole the crown jewels, exited the building, and got away on scooters, and no one batted a single eye. This is insane.
Well, they got on this conveyor belt or like this construction thing that goes down. It was so slow, you guys. Let's roll the clip. If you're seeing here, it goes so slow all the way down to the ground. And then I think they fled the scene with like a scooter or something. But this just goes to show that there are some jobs that AI can't replace.
I was like saying, I'm like, this is literally a cartoon ass crime. Like, I swear to God, like, how is this real life? Like, I feel like this is in like some stupid cartoon that you literally just like walked into the Louvre and stole like France's crown jewels. Like, I will tell you guys right now, my CVS has deodorant locked up tighter than these crown jewels. I can't even break into the CVS and get anything while I'm trying to buy with my credit card. I have to call over the employee to unlock all those glass things because we live in a society now where everyone steals anything. So we're locking up deodorant and toothpaste, but the crown jewels, I guess you can just like basically crack open the container and exit in real time.
Yeah, I'm on French TikTok right now, and our generation is so unserious across the board. People have been filming these videos in front of the Louvre saying, oh, you know, here's what I brought back from the Louvre today. And they're like taking out rings, taking out like beautiful necklaces, like making fun of how they were able to just grab them so quickly. Where was security in all of this? Like, they do not run a tight ship over there. I can't take this seriously. On top of me sending a bunch of TikToks to Jamie last night about them romanticizing this heist, let's roll this clip as well.
We're romanticizing the Louvre heist. That's where we are, because I think, like, in some ways, this is like an Ocean's 11 or National Treasure. We're stealing the Declaration of Independence. And there's just been, like, with Charlie Kirk and just so many, like, horrific crimes, like, we've had to view over the last few years. I think that this is almost, like, it's not funny. It really isn't. It's really, actually, I, like, love history. It makes me really sad when, like, people go and desecrate, like, any of our art or, like, our historical buildings and stuff. But at the same time, this is, like, I think giving, like, a bit more light to, like, just the horrific things that we've been through. And it does feel like a movie.
Yeah, it's a white collar crime where they went in there, they did it with their two bare hands. By the way, they weren't wearing gloves, so that's how they were able to detect these guys, I'm pretty sure, by the DNA test. But that's why I've seen so many videos saying that, like, we have more respect for this. If you go into, like, a Nike store and you're breaking through the glass, we're like, ugh, like, you hooligans. But they went into the Louvre with, like, no thought-out plan whatsoever and just were able to go up this conveyor belt. I don't know where they entered the scene, going in there, opening up with a blowtorch or whatever they use, grabbing these jewels, coming back down. You're right. It's like a cartoon almost.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see the Netflix documentary of this. I'm sure it'll be coming soon.
I love living through historical events like this.
We're living through a historical time, I will say that.
The world was spinning before the heist, and the world will keep spinning after the heist.
Okay, you guys, we're going to switch total gears now and get into our non-toxic advice, where you guys write in your questions every week. And we love to hear from you. I say this every single week, but you guys write the best questions. And so if you have not written a question yet, or if you want to write another one, make sure that you go to sincerelyamerican.com/ask-a-question. Okay, let's get into it. So our first question comes from a guy. I think this is the first time we've had a guy ask a question on the podcast that we've featured, and we love that. We encourage our men to watch as well and write in. And so this is Jason from Wisconsin, and he's saying, many young conservative men aren't entirely sure how to best attract young conservative women. In fact, oftentimes they will resort to giving one another not so great advice on the matter. What would you two provide for some pointers?
I would honestly just say, just making sure that you're a God-centered man. And also, women pay attention to the smallest things, the smallest details, and that does pile up over time. So making sure you're making her life easier, obviously respect for people around you, like the wait staff, people who are opening the door for you, just treating people around you with respect, because ultimately that's going to reflect upon her, and she's going to be thinking, is he going to be treating me with the same respect? I always say this as well, and Charlie Kirk also said this too. You can tell a lot about somebody by the way you travel with them, and if it's easy, because it's going to be, flights are delayed, Uber drivers are rushing through traffic, and if you are able to keep a calm temperament and be stoic in your emotions and just making sure that you're able to get us from point A to point B, it's going to tell a lot about, one, how you're going to treat her, two, how you handle a crisis like that, and three, I just think it just goes into the bigger picture of women do take mental note of these smaller things that do become bigger over time.
You're so right. Women do pick up on a lot of details that guys might not. So I think this is my piece of advice. One, become the best man you possibly can be, because then you'll attract the best woman that you can. And so for me, that first starts out with get in shape and look the best you can. I'm sorry, that's a small thing, but you're going to attract more people if you get in shape and you're looking good. Second, I would say really get your job and your career in order. Women are looking for providers. We want that. We want to be taken care of. I'm not saying you have to become a millionaire, but I think it's very attractive for young women to look at a man and know that he is a hard worker and that he's going to work super hard for their future family one day. And he's looking to have that provider mindset and is established in his career. And I would say this as well. For a lot of women, I think sometimes we can get emotional and dramatic about stuff. We want problem solvers in our life. I love a man that can solve problems and is stoic throughout any type of craziness that's going on. And so I think, having that mentality and being able to, help out a woman and show that you can solve problems in her life is a really underappreciated thing. And then also, I think, going to church is a great place to meet young women as well. I know in this day and age, it's super hard to meet people genuinely. Now, guys are scared at work if they're going to look creepy or whatever. And do not be scared. A lot of women do like confident men. So if you find a woman attractive, I wouldn't be over the top and creepy towards her, but don't be afraid to approach her and ask her for her number and bring her on a date. And this is also another thing that is controversial to say, but pay on the first date, men. Women love that. And if you are especially having a conservative woman, she will reciprocate in that way. And it is good to fall into those traditional gender norms. I think that's really important.
Delete Snapchat, delete the dating app, start meeting people in person. It shows that you're sociable, you're able to navigate social situations and be more outgoing. Like Jamie noted, that you're presenting yourself in the type of way where you're going to attract a high value woman by your work ethic, by the way that you treat your body, your diet, your workout routine, staying disciplined. You in turn will attract a high value woman when you're doing those things.
And pursue that woman too. If you find a woman that you love having conversation with and you just think she's great, pursue her. Stop with this situationship BS. I'm so sick of people being like, they're dating for 6 months and they can't even put I had that happen to me, by the way, at the party, where I guess I asked somebody oh, how long have you guys been dating? And they were like, and I could tell it was a situationship, you guys. And I'm like, can we stop with this culture? If you like a girl, tell her that you like her and become boyfriend and girlfriend and get dating. Life is short, and stop with this crazy culture where you're talking to all these different people. If you like a girl, pursue her. A lot of women actually do like that. We did talk about that on the last episode. It is good to do a little hard to get at the beginning there, but once you decide she's the one, pursue her and go for it and make that happen. Okay, now we're kind of going actually on the flip side, which I like. So Paige from Rhode Island wrote in and said, as a newly engaged woman, how can I start preparing myself spiritually, emotionally, and practically to be a good wife and build a strong foundation for marriage?
I love this question because it goes back to what I say to you all the time. You are who you surround yourself with at the end of the day. There's many biblical references to actually cite iron sharpens iron, as one man sharpens another. Bad company corrupts good character. And so it's important to be intentional of who you give your time to, who you're sitting with, what you're consuming, what type of, and that goes for not just food, but also the type of content that you consume. If you're constantly consuming this negative content, you in turn subconsciously, that will sit in your brain and you will become a negative person. So being intentional about these sort of things, because you are who you surround yourself with and you are what you consume, and being more mindful for that in the future.
I think embracing, what a man also wants in a woman. In this day and age, we can talk about what women want in men all the time, but it's almost taboo to talk about that. But it is true. There are traditional gender roles that you should be falling within. Marriage is a team sport. You need to work together. It's not, a tally off system. I'm doing this versus I'm doing this, but you should be thinking not about yourself anymore, about a team. And so what can you do to better off this team? And I think building that foundation where you're looking to the other person and how can I help their life and how can I make this man the best version of himself? And your husband should be looking in return to make you the best version of yourself. And I would say also, getting into church and establishing that routine with your family, going every Sunday, I think goes a huge distance. And I will also say this too. I think owning that time of engagement where it's so fun and it's just the two of you is fantastic. And, going out on dates, and even though you guys are getting married and stuff, still making that date night very special, I think is really important, especially before you have kids. And I would also make sure too to get onto the same page about when you guys are wanting to have kids, where you're looking to live, and really start thinking about your future forward and where you want to be in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, I think is really important in relationships, whether that be with your career, whether that be with your family, where you're living, with your extended family. I think it's good to make sure you guys are all on the same page before obviously making that covenant before God.
Just going off of what you just said, men want peace. They want to be able to come home from the chaos of work and have a home that is made, that is clean. Like Jamie noted, dinner on the table. But I would also tell you this as well. Make sure that you're catering to his love languages, because maybe what your love language is, maybe like words of affirmation or gift giving or whatever, may not be his love language. It may be acts of service or something. So making sure that you're in agreement with what they expect out of you and having those standards and expectations and communicating those effectively with one another is really going to change the game.
Marriage is beautiful. We talk nonstop about how amazing marriage is, but it also is challenging as anything that's worth doing. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. This is such an exciting part of life that you're headed into. And I just think it's amazing. We should continue to encourage that.
Also, one more thing, I will say, pray about it too, because God, if you're asking him to give you that heart posture of being a better spouse and being a better partner, not just the best person that you can be, but for that person, for your future family as well, he will always deliver on that.
Our last question today, this is from Bia from Alabama. Other than Jesus, who inspires you to be a better woman in person? Thank you and keep up the beautiful work. Thank you.
I would honestly say the people that I surround myself with, my best friends, Jamie and Bryson, if I'm ever in a crisis or there's ever something going on and maybe I'm a little bit too emotional at times, they are my rock and my fortress through that. And I don't have yes friends, because I think a lot of people surround themselves with yes people who may just co-sign on your poor behavior. And to me, that's not a real friendship. I want people around me who want to see me be the best version of myself, the best person, the best wife, the best future mom. And having that alignment with your friend group is so important. And I will say I'm very, very blessed. I asked God very early on when I first moved to DC from Lexington. And I won't say this for the entire group. I met some really, really great girls in Lexington. But one thing that I prayed for nonstop was good friends. God, I pray that I have good friends. I want good people in my life that I can count on and rely on. My friends, Jamie and Bryson, do carry me through a lot of things. And I will say, shout out to my little sister, Brooklyn. She's 13 years old. She also pushes me to be the best version of myself. I don't have kids yet. And so I do want to be the best example for her as a girl when she's growing up. She's obviously entering like her teenage high school years and will go off to college. And she does watch everything that I do.
We've always talked about that you want to surround yourself with friends that make you better. And that is totally you and Bryson and Isabel. Like, you guys are all just beautiful, ambitious women who like really challenge me every day. And I never want to be like the best out of my friends. Instead, I want like people that I strive to and that can improve me in certain ways. And I would also say that personally about my family, like becoming a mom, you just have every decision you make has so much more significance. And that's why I totally encourage getting married and having children, because you will become a better version of yourself, you guys. And so my husband challenges me every single day to be a better version of myself. My daughter, now everything I do, I look and I'm like, is this going to make my daughter proud one day? And then I also have to give a big shout out to my dad. Like, my dad truly is just the most phenomenal role model in my entire life. I can go to him with anything. I just love him, and he's helped me with my business. He's helped me with marriage. He's helped me with motherhood. He's helped me with school, with lacrosse when I used to play sports. And every season of life, my dad's been there and has given me incredible guidance. And I also love my mom in that way too, that she's always just been, I love what you said about being an honest person. You need to surround yourself with people who are not afraid to criticize your decisions at times. Honest people are going to make you better. Surround yourself with good people in your life, marry a good man, and, have good mentors. And, you can't always control who your family is, but within your family, I would take a good look, whether that be a father figure, a grandfather, a mother, a grandmother, or an aunt, or an uncle, or a cousin, or whoever that is. Make sure you have good mentors in your life that you can model your life after. All right, you guys, headed into our next segment, Hot or Not, where we're going to get fun.
Where we're gonna get fun.
Where we're going to get fun.
We're gonna get down.
Okay, so Camryn, fake lashes.
Oof. I'm going to go with not. I used to get the false lashes that were applied to, and you would have to go get them filled in every 2 weeks by like a lash technician. And it honestly covered my eyes too much. I think it depends on your eye shape, but for me, like I have very blue eyes. I have almond eyes, so they're kind of smaller, and the lashes overpower my look, and it gives me a more harsher look. So I'm going to go with not personally for me.
I think that's also, I feel like Camryn and I, we can get into this like later too in like more episodes, but we've definitely like developed our makeup look. Like, that's part of growing up in your 20s where you like really learn what looks good on you and what doesn't. Certain things can look good on someone and not look good on you, and vice versa. I'm going to go hot. I love some fake lashes. I think I don't like a full strip glass. I just like the little piecey ones to have like more of a natural like wisp. I think it really adds something to your eyes. I wear falsies all the time. I'm a huge fan of it, but I think you're right. I do not like those lashes that they apply, like the semi-permanent ones where you have to get them refilled. I almost never think those look very good, if I'm being honest. So I think if you're going to do it, go to the drugstore and get those, like I said, the little wispy ones. I think look much better and much more natural. This one, I cannot believe Camryn added this to our thing. Like, this is insane. The Skims bush thongs, and we're going to put that up if you guys haven't seen. This went viral.
I want to know who is buying these and why they are sold out. And I would like to personally have them sit right here and explain to me why they bought that.
Wait, they're sold out?
Yes, I'm pretty sure they're sold out.
I thought this was like a press gimmick.
No.
Someone's actually buying that.
Yeah.
Why, you guys? Like, are we a weirdo society? This, like, sometimes things give me hope. This does not give me hope in society. Maybe this is because so many people have gotten, like, laser treatments, and now they're, like, regretting their laser treatment. I don't know why.
Maybe they're trying to sport out a new look. I have no idea. We're going to go not with this one. I'm going to speak for Jamie on this. This is a not.
And where are you wearing this, you guys? Like, if you're wearing, like, leggings, like ew. 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 Okay, I'm like moving on to the next thing. So not for me. I don't even have.
We had to mention it though. It's viral right now, and I'm like, well, why are they sold out?
I know, because it's so outrageous. Like,
yeah.
Who is wearing?
Well, it's kind of like on brand for her because of the nipple bra. I'm also like, where are you wearing that too? Because I wouldn't want to draw attention in that way.
The nipple bra was kind of fun. I don't know. It was kind of like different and fun, but like this went too far.
But like, where would you wear that?
I don't know.
Where are you wearing these things? Or is it like in the comfort of your own home and like you're wanting to strut around in that? Is this your Halloween costume?
Yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that, but that was outrageous, but this is even more, you guys. Yeah. I swear to God, we talk about this every episode, the Kardashification of society, where you just do anything to be like extremely outrageous just to get
a click from an Indian bot. I said it once, I'll say it again.
Yeah, so we're not recommending that for you guys. Okay, this one's controversial. Prenups.
I'm going to go with not, but then let me explain. I'm going to go not with prenups just because I don't think you should be getting married to that person if you don't 100% trust them. Now, on the flip side of this, I understand that there is the saying, the same person you divorce is not the same person who you originally married. So I understand that it is circumstantial and it does depend on your dynamic. If you are two highly successful people, let's say like you both come from money and there's a lot of estates that are involved in this, I do understand that. However, I do think it's circumstantial. For me personally, I would have never gotten married to my husband if there was like a prenup involved. We're both two successful people, but ultimately it is that trust that is the foundation. If you don't have that trust, then what foundation can your relationship stand on?
I mean, this might be the Catholic in me, but I'm just so against divorce that, like, I think if you have a prenup before marriage, like, I do understand why people do it. But for me, if you have a prenup before marriage, it's almost setting the stage for divorce. Like, what marriage is supposed to be is a covenant under the Lord that is not broken under any circumstances. You fight through everything together. And this is kind of giving, like, I guess, an exit option. And I don't think that that's strong for building a marriage on that. And, I do understand I can wrap my head around if you're getting married later in life. And like I said, you're a billionaire and all this type of stuff. But still, I don't think you should be marrying that person if you don't foresee that this is going to last till the end of time. And I do think that this is a huge part of our divorce culture that's occurring nowadays. People just throw out marriage so easily and because they have these exit options. And so heading into a marriage, you should view that this is my partner for life. This is who I go to heaven with. And I'm just not a fan. I think it's a shaky foundation to build a marriage on, and there should be no backup plan. Okay, next one is micro shorts.
Okay, I'm going to go with hot on this one. Like, for the younger girls, I think it is so cute. I want to throw up a picture of Paige Lorenz wearing a pair of I think it was Miu Miu micro shorts. It looks good with her figure. I personally could never pull this off just because of, like, I have more of an athletic build, and I wouldn't want anything hanging out from the back.
So, butt.
Yeah. So I wouldn't want anything hanging out, but I do think it's cute. I'm going to go with hot. Personally, though, probably could never wear them.
I like a mini skirt, but not micro shorts personally. I don't know. I don't think they look very good on me. I've kind of like, as I've gotten older, I'm 27. I'm like acting like I'm like 50 years old. I'm like not usually as into like the mini stuff as much, but like recently I've kind of liked like a mini skirt and tights and stuff. But I don't know. The shorts are just kind of ugh to me. I'm not a big fan, but I agree. They look good on some people, just not my vibe personally. Okay, last one is collagen face masks.
Oh, these are hot. Jamie and I sleep in these all the time. Makes you feel better about yourself. Waking up the next day, you're peeling it off, your skin is glowing. And it's just like a little self-care thing that you treat yourself with. So I'm going to go hot.
I'm going to go with hot as well. I love those collagen face masks from like Medicube. It's like this South Korean brand. Everybody's so into this Korean skincare right now. And I swear it makes my face look like glass when I like take it off in the morning. I'm absolutely obsessed. I literally can't order these enough. I'm like always ordering them off of TikTok Shop and everything. And I like that you can apply your skincare underneath and it really like locks in that skincare for the night. And I do find them very easy to sleep with. Like I tried doing that mouth taping. I cannot sleep with that. I'm sorry. I'm, I guess, a mouth breather at night. Like, I don't even know what to say, but I literally can't fall asleep with that.
My mom says I can't wear these to bed because you get claustrophobic. I've seen girls use scissors on the nose part to pull it up. That way it doesn't feel like it's drooping over your nose and blocking you from being able to breathe. So take some tips from those influencers too of just maybe snipping the sides of it a little bit. I promise it's worth it.
Yeah, I also sleep on my face too, so I feel like it protects my face from my pillow at night. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we do a lot of those. My skin is so bad right now because I've just been doing so much makeup for like all of our press and filming and everything. I just feel like I'm constantly having makeup on my skin, and so it's definitely like nice to take that all off and put that on to like refresh your skin at night. Okay, you guys, headed in to our last segment of the day, propaganda that we're not falling for. Camryn, what is yours this week?
Okay, well, we are on the topic of skincare. So my propaganda that I'm not falling for is a 10-step skincare routine. I honestly, this has been like a huge trend recently. And I know like my little sister's 13. She watches all the videos of like the girls her age using all the Drunk Elephant things. But I'm going to go with less is more. You also need to let those ingredients sit individually. And if you're putting one ingredient on top of another, your pores aren't going to be able to handle that. So I think if you have a good vitamin C serum, if you have a good retinoid cream, especially when you're older, I would say like probably start that like your mid-20s. You won't need like a retinoid cream when you're really young. And like a moisturizer, if you're, out west and you live in like a drier climate, I would say like use a moisturizer more. But I just don't think that you need all of the serums and all of the things. Just cater it to your face. If you have dark under eyes, I can understand that. If your skin is dry or if it's oily, cater it to that. You don't need all of these treatments on your face because I think it's a gimmick and it's a scam.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that, Cameron. I'm like kind of a lazy girl, I will fully admit. Like my mom is a big skincare guru, and I will say she looks so good for her age. So maybe I should take a page out of that book. But I am very simple. Sometimes I'm just putting the retinol on, a face oil, and then I like to put like this Egyptian magic cream. We can put that up, and I put that on like where any spots that you could potentially get wrinkles, like your forehead, under your eyes, like between my eyebrows and like around my mouth and stuff. I think like it's called like slugging at night, and I love going to bed with that, and then sometimes I'll throw that collagen mask on top as well, and I think that's great. Okay, mine is, this is getting like completely different topic that we haven't covered this like recently, but that you have to breastfeed your baby. Okay, I am trying to be out here and represent the moms that have had difficulty breastfeeding. Look, I'm in the MAHA movement as well. I really am like for the all natural, making America healthy again. Let's take the chemicals out of our food. I want to improve our formula in the US. I'm very passionate about that. I actually got my formula for Vivian out. I got a German brand, actually. I'll also put that up on the screen for you guys. It's called HIP. This formula is amazing. But I did feel when I had Vivian, I tried my absolute best to breastfeed, and it was really difficult for me. It was not working. And I do feel like that there is a lot of pressure on women. And I felt like I felt very guilty that I couldn't properly breastfeed and it wasn't working. And so I'm telling you guys, for women that are just having kids, you're going to be okay. Vivian is so healthy. She's above and beyond all of her height, weight, any expectation. Like she's as sharp as a tack. I say she's like 2 going on 10. And I did mainly formula feeding. And like I said, I invested in good formula. So I think that's very important. All natural formula. Unfortunately, in the US, we know this, and RFK is addressing a lot of these issues. There's a lot of chemicals and, sugars and stuff in our formula. So I would recommend this brand, but do not feel that pressure. This is what I say. Try your best to breastfeed. They say that at the beginning, it's called liquid gold, that colostrum. I think that that's really important that you do your best to at least to do that. And so I did that with Vivian. And then we worked for a few weeks, you guys. We were doing our absolute best. But like I said, it doesn't work out for every single mom. And so if it's not working, and it was so much stress on me. Like I'm sure so many moms can agree with me on this. The stress of feeding that newborn baby is just so immense. And if it's ruining your time being a mom, then do not worry. You can substitute, you can do both. I think that there's such a pressure on women that we shouldn't put. And I think at the end of the day, fed is best, and just be the best mom you can be, and it will be okay, you guys. I saw this like meme. I'm also going to put this up on the screen. There was like a slide it was 2 slides going into one for a listening audience. And at the bottom, it's like breastfed kids, formula fed kids. And it's like eating McDonald's French fries off the bottom of a car. And it's like, no matter what you do and how healthy we are, I'm so healthy with Vivian. At the end of the day, your kids are going to have some junk food at some point. And so just do your best in every capacity, and it's going to be okay, moms. Okay, Camryn, what propaganda are you falling for?
Well, now I feel like I'm on a completely different note because we love RFK. We love this agenda and the MAHA movement. We've both gotten into this recently, but I'm sorry. My guilty pleasure is a Diet Coke almost every single day. And I know that's so bad. The aspartame is terrible for you. Sorry, RFK. But I love Diet Coke. I will drink that. That is like my midday pick-me-up. And I don't know, I love putting it in a cute cup with my straw glass and sipping it throughout the day. It makes everything a lot better.
Yeah, it's so funny because I'm not like a Diet Coke addict. I do understand why people that appeal of Diet Coke, because I will say this. Sometimes I don't want a full coffee, and so having a Diet Coke with that little caffeine, I totally agree. It is a little pick-me-up. My mom, you guys, has a full-on addiction to Diet Coke. I love her. Tracy, like literally whenever she comes to my house, I have to get like 3 cases, I swear to God, to keep up with her. And then Camryn and her were both here this weekend, and they were like fighting each other for my Diet Coke, and my fridge was
I bought it, and I was like, I know that not only I will drink this, but Tracy will also drink this as well.
You know what, guys? It's everything in moderation. Be the healthiest you can be. But if there's some like guilty pleasures that make life a little more whole,
yeah,
who cares? I'm for it. I understand it.
Yeah.
Okay, mine is once again completely different, but being alone in your own thoughts. You guys, we live in a society now. Okay, I want to take us back to before smartphones. People used to go to the doctor's office, and sometimes you wait 30 to 45 minutes. We've all been in that appointment. And you would be sitting there in your own thoughts because you didn't have the smartphone that you were scrolling through. And nowadays, people are cleaning with, music constantly playing or podcasts, and they're in their beds scrolling whenever they get like even a second off. And I don't think enough people spend enough time time like in their own thoughts. Even when you're working out, people are watching TV, listening to music, the podcasts and stuff. And I will tell you, I think it's so important to take some time off of your phone, don't have that background noise, don't have the TV on, and focus on your own thoughts. I do this in the shower, for example. I think everyone has different places where you can make this happen. And I swear, you guys, my most innovative ideas, I came up with the Conservator and Sincerely American both in the shower because I'm standing there washing my hair and I don't have anything else on. I can really focus on my life, what I want to do. That's where, like, when I'm about to do a news hit, where I like prepare everything, is I take that time to myself to really like be in my own thoughts. And I think a lot of people in this day and age are scared to do so.
I actually get the closest I've ever been to the Lord when I'm in the car, because I can have these long-winded prayers where I'm just talking to God, asking God like what I can do to be better. Like Jamie noted, the most creative ideas come to me while I'm driving down the road. I don't know if it's just because I'm passing, like I take the scenic route a lot. Normally it's going through the South. I've driven from Kentucky to Florida, Florida to Kentucky, Kentucky to DC. I drive everywhere and I love it. And I sit alone in my own thoughts. I don't listen to podcasts. I am not reading an audiobook. I am genuinely just talking to the Lord. A lot of people get uncomfortable with that because they don't want to self-reflect. They don't want to see what they could be doing better, reflecting on those creative ideas, starting something new. They're finding comfortability in the noise. A lot of people find comfortability in the noise, I'm saying.
I think if you want to encourage yourself to be the best version of yourself and the most intelligent version of yourself, you should be thinking about the world and where you fall in it and where your philosophy is, what you believe in faith, what you believe in politics, and taking time to really craft that. And I think that's the best way to approach the world in this crazy time that we live in, and really know who you are deep down and what your values are. And that time alone, whether you're in the car, you're in the shower, or you're going on a run, you're making your bed, you're cleaning, those moments I think are so valuable, and no one talks about that enough. And so I would really encourage you guys to put down the phone. I know it's cliche to say, I'm not trying to be a boomer right now, but there's a lot of good that comes out of it.
We challenge you to find comfortability in the silence.
But don't put down the podcast with us. Continue to listen to us. I'll say that's a one exception. We love having you guys here, and we're so thankful for you guys tuning in every week to Sincerely American. We love hearing from you. We love seeing you guys. Send us those DMs, and make sure that you guys are following us on Instagram and TikTok at Sincerely American. We'll see you girls next week. Thank you.
Bye. We'll see you every Wednesday.